Alright guys, we have some new news. Could the Part 3/EX Part LR Dokkanfest that we are more than likely going to be getting be a baby unit? Or a Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta? Either way, I really wouldn't mind either of them. I've been screaming for a transforming baby in Dokkan for literal years. So maybe 2025 is the year we finally get one. And I definitely wouldn't be opposed to a Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. So, yesterday, while your boy was at work, we had some slight info drop. So going back to this, where Proton says, which is an update to the tweet we initially saw, where we actually found out we were going to be probably getting a Part 3 or EX part, and we all thought it was going to be Daima, which unfortunately is looking like it won't be. Dokkan, when is it happening? There has been an update. Now with an ID gap of 11 out of 6 between the two tables after the last data download, which is from the first, the only thing that explains the remaining ratio of IDs is an LR EZA or 3 Super EZAs, a new TUR, and a new LR. Which of course we've already gone through all of the reasons why we're going to be getting a new Dokkanfest LR, why it looks like we're going to get again a Part 3, a Part EX. And this just further adds it. So that is the basis, essentially. That is how we know there is going to be another Dokkanfest LR coming for the GDC celebration, or kind of like the 10th anniversary where they round things out. But then there was also this shown, a new map event of ID 1515, not yet in the database, which Proton confirms this is a Dokkanfest event. This is a map for a upcoming Dokkanfest event, not currently in the game, not currently ID'd or attached to a unit, which will most likely be for the new LR Dokkanfest that is coming out in the next part of the GDC celebration. Now, in terms of what this could be, it could literally be anything. You know, we literally just had a woodland area, a kind of forest setup. There is only two things that come to mind to me, which is why it can only be a handful of units. Number one, this guy's already got it here, so I don't have to go get it. So I appreciate you, King, for having this gift down in the comments. And that is an End of Z Goku. Literally just training with Goten. It could be an option. It very well could be. You know, we have seen Kai Goku and the Z opening Kid Gohan back from the... was it the 10th? No, 9th anniversary? 8th? 7th? I think it might have been the 8th. I really can't remember, but I'm getting old. Whichever year we got the, as I said, Kai opening Goku and the Z opening LR Kid Gohan as the Part 2 LRs for an anniversary, we've seen them kind of do it before for units like that in major celebrations. So an End of Z Goku really isn't out of the question. The only other thing, and I'll pop it on screen for you right now, is that one episode from Dragon Ball GT where Goku is fighting the controlled, possessed baby versions of Gohan and Goten, I'm pretty sure. And it looks pretty much like this. And those are kind of the only two units that spring to mind that they could do for GDC, for another LR unit that kind of carries weight, that kind of carries hype, and that also kind of fits this woodland forest area we've got going on that honestly just looks very, very generic. Now, the reason why we could see an SSJ4 Vegeta and then also Baby as the two kind of most characters in contention for this LR Dokkanfest is because Proton, with another tweet, with these coming back right before the end of Part 2, we have the story event for the reinvention of Vegeta, where you can get the free-to-play Int Vegeta GT unit that transforms into a Great Ape. And we're getting the Easy Area GT editions, where you can Easy A the same free-to-play Vegeta, a GT Super Saiyan Goku, Rildo, and Giru. And they're coming back at the very end of Part 2, kind of setting up what's coming in Part 3. So it could very well be a baby. It does kind of fit. You know, the only kind of real representation Vegeta does get until he goes Super Saiyan 4 is Baby mind controlling him in GT, and the area does fit. And I'm not gonna lie, as I said, I've been screaming for a new baby in the game for years, especially a transforming one. But then again, I definitely wouldn't be opposed to a Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, but nothing really from GT kind of fits this grass, you know, Greenland, woodland looking area we've got going on from GT where Vegeta shows up. So I think Vegeta's very unlikely and probably more so going to be a baby, or it could be something completely left. Remember, take all of this with a large pinch of salt, because it could be something completely unrelated to either of them. But I think those two, as I said, have the most contention, but baby is the more likely out of the two of them. But either way, I'm happy with either or, if I'm being completely real with you guys. But in terms of Vegeta, can we just put respect on my boy for just 2 minutes? The only standalone Super Saiyan 4 Vegetas we have in the game is the 2nd anniversary AGL SSJ4 Vegeta, who literally just got a super easy 8, by the way, which a little bit shagged because Goku is better. Not as bad as everyone thought, but Goku is better. And the only other one we got was 2 years later in the 4th anniversary, which was all the way back in 2019, by the way, which is the LR Strength SSJ4 Vegeta. So we haven't had a standalone Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta in the game for about 6 whole years. So if this Part 3, Part EX LR Dokkanfest is going to be my boy Jeets, it's definitely long overdue that we get one. So Dokkan, if that's what you're planning to do, I appreciate you, because one thing you can definitely do, you can give him that Carnival LR SSJ4 Goku treatment. We could have maybe a base GT Super Saiyan Vegeta, or Super Saiyan, either or. You know, Dokkan's not antsy with how they do things. They will take animations from elsewhere. Then he transforms for 1 turn into a Golden Great Ape, and then transforms into Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. I think that would be really, really sick. We don't have that in Dokkan right now. We haven't had a standalone Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta in the game for literal years. The only ones we've had recently are literally dual units with another Goku. And I kind of want him to have the same treatment as Super Saiyan 4 Carnival LR Goku, because then he could have maybe the similar support, but maybe he gives 10% crit. Maybe he gives 10% chance to dodge. Maybe he gives also 10% damage reduction, but instead of defense, he gives attack. You know, make them kind of complement each other. I think that would be really, really sick. And another fantastic boost to GT Heroes and Giant 8 Power. Could you imagine those two running on the same team if he got the same type of treatment as a Carnival LSJ4 Goku? Now, when it comes to baby, again, we haven't really had a baby in the game for literal years. I mean, this guy right here is a side banner unit. This is literally baby. This isn't the mind-controlled Vegeta version. 2023. He was a side banner unit. He was doo-doo on release. He was never good. And he's just kind of there. But in terms of an actual, like, baby Vegeta, even one that transforms, which, again, I really, really want, we haven't had one since the LR, who's currently boosted right now, which, again, he came out in 2019. That was 6 whole years ago. And a baby would work incredibly well for this celebration, because we could have another Extreme Dokkanfest, who hopefully, very, very good, also has quite little representation in the game. It's a unit a lot of us have been wanting in the game for years. Even if they don't do a transforming one, still, 4 years. This one's currently boosted. They may or may not link together, but if they do, this one's currently boosted. He would go on Inhuman Deeds with a Mega Shenron. He would work well with a Mega Shenron. Another good unit that could boost GT bosses. Also, funny enough, if he does have the Giant 8 in there as well, he can actually also go on Giant 8 Power. Now, if you don't fully restrict him to extreme class units, he can actually work well on both and offer you up to very solid options on all of the major categories, aside from Part 1. But the Part 2 units especially from GDC, which I think is great. So, as I said, 2 very, very good options, and 2 most likely options is the idea of a baby and a Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. Either way, I wouldn't mind either coming to the game as a Part 3 or Part EX LR. But you can let me know down in the comments, what do you think? Do you think it's one of those units? Do you think it's potentially an End of Z Goku? Or do you think it's something completely different? Are you thinking it's something completely left? Let me know down in the comments. I'll see you in the next video, guys. Take care, have a great day, and peace.